Okay, hello there. Welcome to my fourth match of season 66 here against Yurikamome. We have a pretty big pretty heavy rising sun kingdom, actually. 3 things anyway from there. Payload is a little weak. There's no plus buy apart from loots, which is not trivial to get. Altar is extremely good. The draw is fine. The order on the draw is a little awkward, maybe, but otherwise it's fine. I don't know that you ever actually pick up Scrying Pool. Frey is the unique one, right? So I guess you go like Gondola Silver? I mean, if you want to, you can open Potion. I kind of think there's enough time here to get the Scrying Pools. But Gondola is your best shot at getting an altar, which seems important. There's not like a super good money thing. I guess it would involve, I say money thing, I guess like potentially some scholar stuff could get you to a big hand that had cash and you bought province. Don't know. Otherwise, I don't really know how this is going to go down. I hit the altar here, so I don't have to duration. You hit duration and buy potion, but that's a little risky. I guess in it, I can buy the potion the next turn anyway. It doesn't really change anything. If I have 4 again, then I could do it anyway. I can't, well, yeah, I have a silver, so it's possible, but so I think I'm gonna get a potion. I'm not 100% sure it's worth it, but it's getting. Doesn't make a lot of sense to take Daimyo here, or there's some risk anyway. Even though I think it's probably fine. You're just risking whiffing on some stuff. Like if I'd done it, I wouldn't be able to hit the pool here. A little unfortunate we don't get a estate trash. It would be nice to remove 1 anyway, but it's all right. This will be a daimyo. Chalice is okay here, actually. We can't hit. We can't quite hit a good loot here. And root cellar isn't really likely to. I mean, the silver draw would help a little bit, but the silver draw would net maybe a little bit. Well, only if it was with. I think you just wait here. It's not really possible to hit everything. I don't know if war chest is worth it or not. My initial inclination is to say no. I have to do this to get the debt, to get the pool. This is a nice draw here. You'd rather daimyo the altar at this point, but and certainly I'm not complaining about daimyo scrying pool for my opening hand. That's great. Going for another loot? No, okay. If you go into 4A and you don't get plus buy, that can be a little rough. To be sure. Okay. Okay, all I really want to do... How much did I discard here? I mean, I really only want a foray, so... You can play the root cellar and then... It's another estate. There may be something to be said for getting a war chest at some point, but... So the potion could be a unique... Potion copper... estate. What do we get? Figurehead, that sucks. Everything else is going great. That's an insanely unfortunate draw. This is like minstrel scrying pool. Figurehead. I could have done it differently, of course. So the 6 debt would have been kind of hard to come over. Well, this is unfortunate. So I don't have enough to do anything but this. I guess I had tossed the figurehead. It wasn't that weird, but... Alright, we're gonna go in for... We did bottom deck a couple pools, which was... Or one pool anyway. Whatever. We're clean, but we don't have plus buy yet. But we're quite a bit better drawing. The ghost towns are like nothing. We're gonna have potion anyway, so... I really need loot though. Okay. Could be a scholar, but we'll just do a seller. Okay, so this is fine. Jules, all right. Jules is perfect. Jules is excellent. Excellent loot here. So we probably want to try and play a hand such that if we can, we have a shot at double foray, but that if we like hit 1+ buy on the first one, maybe we shift to a pool or a daimyo or something. But the draw should be fine regardless. Or a training on minstrel or something. Yeah, maybe I should have just straight up got the minstrel instead of a war chest there. Not sure. The pool split is pretty hugely different. They get a figurehead, which isn't that great. I kind of forgot about training. Training could be good here. I don't know if we have so much pile out threat anytime soon. We're pretty spread out. As an artist, I think artist is fine, but probably definitely worse than daimyo. if I had to guess. I don't know why I didn't play the minstrel first there, but not my finest choice. Probably, yeah. Okay. So minstrel. Okay, so we could go root cellar, minstrel estate, root cellar, minstrel potion for our foray options. Probably grab a ghost down here. Maybe a scholar. Shield, okay. Shield's pretty good. We have 6 minstrels. So if we do train now, we can certainly think about provincing next turn. Probably don't have 2 altar plays, which is fine. There's not like a huge number of good altar targets now. So that'll give us 6. We'll have quite a bit of money if we draw everything. The trashing differential is pretty massive, though. If their like deck is sort of running in spite of that, if like they're still doing okay in that world, then they will have a little better duchy gaining than me. Can also alter root sellers, maybe okay. But like, what am I getting? Scholars are all right. Gondola's potentially okay. Yurikamome has a lot of debt right now. I have put back in the gondolas and the figurehead, so I do have more treasure in this time. We could even think about losing the potion. It's not critical, though. It's like a reasonable foray target. Staff is fine, but not too important. Okay. There's also a world where you daimyo the altar. There's a jewels at the bottom here, and then, or not daimyo minstrel. Oh, I have 7 minstrels. Wow. Okay. It'd be like a potion death, probably. You can have, what are we looking at? Like Foray Province Daimyo. Pretty good. How much money do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15-ish, 17. So we could do that easily. We could go Province Foray Daimyo. I'm trying to think if we want to daimyo the altar. I mean, Ghost Town is okay. We have the figurehead anyway. I mean, this does not matter. We could lose the war chest. It's not that exciting either. That's okay. I just keep saying things are okay, which is true. They are just okay. Well, we have a lot of money. Actually, triple province doesn't look so bad either. to be perfectly frank. It would be like we could double province daimyo. It would be 3 of these. I don't know what this is gonna be. See, I should play this earlier, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think duchy matters. I don't like the ghost towns for just the expedition effect. You dribble province twice. This isn't a super good duchy holding kingdom. Which probably I should have maybe done the altar a little differently, but so we won't have figurehead next turn, but or this turn for playing the money, but we'll have the all of those things, those gondolas. That's what they're called. It's really, really not a very good kingdom for coming back. We have triple here. I mean, we could even, we don't need the money. We don't need the money. We can technically just, the forays are, this is so pointless. The forays are just like, What would it even do? Okay. Do this. And then we play this. And for another pool, yay. You can find it. I wonder if it's worth playing. There's another pool in there anyway. I don't remember what the last cards are exactly. But there's no more of those anyway. So let's get menstrual. How much money do we have now? 9, 11. $11, 15, no, 17. Do I have 24 exactly? We alter the potion for a. We get a gondola and then we can 10, 12. It's whether we think a gondola is better than. Also, the risk of top decking a province. We don't need 24 next turn. Let me check this. 12, 18, 24. Cool. Get a ghost town. We can attack them again. Let's just get another ghost town. So there's not really any reason to play this out. But people have their rights to do it. Big thing is just that I get a huge amount of money just from playing the minstrels, and they're just all going to get played, you know? They can't really avoid being played. That's $8 in and of itself. Eight is so trivial to hit with this deck. Not really thinking there's probably even a thing that does it. That whiffs, you know. It's just okay, so we have the monkey, and then, but pretty poor village effect, just Avanto and Prince. Panic makes the loots not super appealing. I'm not sure. I guess you can keep your couriers for money, potentially. But like going, I mean, you could still buy a search, I suppose, and just oh, we have panic deliver commerce even. Well, okay. Yeah. That's gonna be some kind of thing. I don't know how much the commerce actually comes into it versus buying just purely the coppers. So is there like if you're the person who activates Poet, does that help you? I mean, it must help you some amount, but which would point towards probably wanting to have a Poet in your deck that you can at least maybe decide whether you want to play it or not on a turn. But which is otherwise, I mean, if you have 5/2, sure, buy a search. Why not? I'm not super, like I said, I wouldn't be super in love with it in the other case. Silver Mine, okay here. And then of course Monkey on the deliver, like you still do the deliver stuff, but then your opponent draws their whole deck anyway the next turn if they have a monkey. Though there's no like guarantee you hit the monkey when you necessarily need it. This is so funny. But for sure, I think, I don't know, I would have probably delivered something there on the 5, but I whiff here a little bit, unfortunately. It really remains sort of unclear to me how this is gonna, if this is even real, like if, I mean, if there's like actual things to play around or whether it's just purely the stupidest thing you've ever seen. Like whether, I guess the big question is whether commerce has any value. So they have... Okay. Well, I guess I'll probably wait then if they already have the stowaway in hand. If I had 5, I could have... Well, that wouldn't really help me. It's also not a huge deal for them to draw deck anyway, because they are going to have the thing going. Regardless. So, I guess I'm going to deliver a monkey, even though it probably activates a stowaway. This stupid game. I don't know. It's this question of whether having the 2 poets is valuable to me is pretty interesting. I assume they're gonna get a poet themselves, because then they have threat on that. And then I'm like, do I even buy a poet, right? No, okay, so they didn't set aside a poet. So I have a tough... I guess I could deliver a poet, maybe. I have a bit of a pain. I'm gonna draw. Whatever I hit it'll draw. If it's silver, I'll get both things. But otherwise, it's also a bit problematic here. Or whether, because I trigger this, I can't probably play both the poets. Unless I think for some reason, I guess if I have a monkey down and they do the deliver stuff on a turn, then who cares? I'll still get to go big on my turn. I can stop here though. We are going to go here. They're gonna choose not to play the silver mine, which I think is pretty reasonable. Hopefully I find the monkey. Cool. Okay, so we need this. And then, so the question is whether You just draw them the cards. It's not a big deal. Question is whether there's value. I mean, I can commerce for a gold. I could get curse and get 2 golds, which maybe means something. I can also just get a couple silvers too, which maybe is similar. That is unclear to me. Could get a silver mine, which would, well, that's kind of stupid. I don't know if this is to my advantage or not. I honest to goodness have no idea. So this would be like curse commerce to get to we get the same number of buys by doing silver and we don't have the curse. We're player 2, so we do have some tie, maybe first mover advantages going that way. They unfortunately have some number of extra silvers from the silver mine. I have no idea if the activation and moving first on that actually helps me or not. But what else can you do? It's not actually, I'm not actually making like a crazy amount of money here unless I can start doing commerce stuff. They have a way better commerce angle due to the silver mine, which I maybe could have picked up a point. But from this point, it doesn't make a huge difference. Having dismantle would be pretty good. This is just like maybe 2 commerces. I don't think I'm going to have... I don't know when panic happens. When you discard it from play. So you can't pile out the coppers. But certainly a state curse monkey is going to be within reach, depending on the score. I'm going to have $20 here. $18. Yeah. Unfortunately... Actually, the double commerce gets 5 golds now. You get 2 the first time and then 3 the next time, which is pretty huge. It may just be game winning, and it's basically off the back of the silver mine. Though for sure I could have had... this hand could be the same. It could have, except it would have a curse and it could have 2 golds. But I think they're kind of gonna leapfrog me in money output in a way that I'm not gonna be able to really compete with. If I had to guess. And probably they'll probably have threats on the pile outs. I'm not gonna have enough to do. Well, I could probably no, because I can't deliver. I could only do a single commerce that way. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't think I give them the loot. This probably loses, but I think I was just kind of hosed anyway. I don't know if there'll be a pile out, but I mean, if there wasn't a pile out threat, then the province was pretty bad. But I do maybe get a little threat on Estate's Monkey Curse by taking province. If they don't green as well. $53 buys is so funny. How much money is it? It's 15, 16, so 31 to pile. Yeah, there's definitely some considerations on how many treasures you want to play at different points. Yeah, $16.31 to pile. So it didn't look like they had enough to pile and make up the 6 or what would be an 8-point difference at that point. And they would need another. Obviously something like Max Province is pretty bad. I have 24.35. There may be, I think the last 2 are poets. So I can quad province, but 5 province would have been pretty nice threat. I could be pretty easily convinced that there was a better angle with the curse. We would have had $20 instead of $18, which would have been like a double commerce. It would have been like Copper Province double commerce, which would have gotten a couple extra golds here instead of silver. So maybe $4 more. I'm not sure. Silver mine was huge though. I don't know that I had a, I mean, there were hands where I could have bought one, whether that was better versus the things I did with the liver. It's another question entirely. What's funny is if they don't run all the coppers out and do it that way, then it opens up for me some incentive to maybe not play into the monkey, potentially. They can actually just fail to draw things. But I mean, they have to play a bunch of stuff, surely. I can't imagine. Really works out. There's 60 coppers total. I guess another angle I could have gone like Duchy Estate Panic or Duchy Estate Commerce, something like that. There may have been some threats on some different angles, but if you don't have money to pile out, I may be able to dance around something. It'll be a bit of a pain to check, but I do have enough to do the pile out, the -2 point pile out, and then also get a couple. I don't know. I don't have enough for a duchy as well off that, so that would be like a +1 point thing. But I guess if you have $18 more, then the searches are not a score emptying losing thing. That's something to consider. Too bad we don't have Delve also. Just have Delve Commerce deliver. Panic. The funny thing is the coppers disappear, but they don't stay away, you know, during the in-game check. Yurika can get a loot. If he wants one. You want one? You. Gee. Oh no, I've got the button. I've got the button. I don't, the real question is how many more times will we see the button? $30, $40, $50. $75, $80 billion. $80 quadrillion. Fortunately, you can like pretty much exact count your opponent's economy. It's not like terribly hard to do that. You just 60, 40, 30 minus whatever in your hand. That's what they have. As far as the counts of treasures. And the buys they have is plenty. That's the answer for buys. They have plenty of buys. And the points, you know, are just right up there. There is a bit of a... I'll give you a score here. Can't lower to 4 provinces. Cannot triple province. If you double... 4, 6, 35. If you double, you need to check whether that... I guess I'll have to check whether they can get 5, which maybe they can. They doubled, so probably it's just a checkmate. I can get to 5 provinces, but I assume it's just plenty of money. They got a duchy as well here. Then you over double commerce for like or 5. I can empty the duchies, which isn't really all that useful. Yeah, the curse plus, if I counted the way the curse angle worked, I'm not sure that it got me to 40 this turn. I think it didn't, but maybe it did. I didn't check it fully. If it did get me to 40, then that would be a pretty big mistake. They set aside 1, 6. So they have 11 golds. So they have $33 just in golds. Plus the shield. That's 36, 38. So they already have not way over 40, but you know, pretty far over 40. I don't know that I really had an out here. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't get enough buys to do anything without playing a bunch of coppers. And I don't have $40, so just GG. If we go quad province, we get to 35 points. Or 33 points rather. And then they just easily do single province and 5 duchies or whatever they need. Four duchies a state. Blah, blah, blah. 3 duchies. It's really just... Yeah. There's a checkmate, I think. I don't know that I had any outs, so I don't feel too bad. We'll have to investigate the curse line. I guess the other thing to investigate was taking single province at all, or a combination of those 2 adjustments. Maybe would have been worthwhile, but yeah, I simply do not have enough money. I can losing pile out. Rude. Extremely rude. Truly, it was nice from them. I felt it's an unfortunate kingdom where you almost feel like you played it. Maybe and I'm not saying that I definitely did this, but where you feel like you maybe played it pretty close to perfectly and you're still checkmated at some point. So we have friendly bridge troll. Is that the gain a copy one? Okay. Draw is really terrible here. No, it's not. It's good. Marquee is good draw. Okay, so draw's quite good here. There's procession, which isn't super important, but could do some things. You could always kind of fall back on Way of the Sheep to some degree. I don't know how you kind of make it all come together though. Won't lie about that. I'm gonna open. I mean, you just have to throw the stuff in your deck and hope you draw pretty good. There's not a lot else to it. There could be some else to it, but probably not a huge thing. Open improved procession. If they collide, that's nice. You get to gain a 5 and probably a 4 and a 6. 2 5s, something along those lines. And then they don't collide, you just play sheep and still buy 5s or whatever. Hopefully. Drawing estates, that's a bummer. Never want that. I think you can get war chest. Like, war chest is pretty good, but so are the bridge trolls. War chest is definitely good here. Whether it's the best 5 to take at a given point is harder to say. I really don't care for the cartographer. As your first 5 in any case. Not a fan of that. If we draw the marquee, then we're in business, but this I'm not as clear on whether I want to toss it or whether I want to procession it or what. If you find the marquees, big deal. If you don't find a marquee, the deck is a little heavy on the terminals. If you find any of the terminals, it's okay, but or at least it helps. Okay, that's all right. Unfortunately, you are going to have a marquee here, which sucks. Mine whiffed. With the village anyway. Yeah, if I hit marquee off the procession wall village, that had been a turn. into some of this other stuff. And we'd be talking. Two old villages, huh? Sort of think procession is better in Walled Village, but I can see there is some consistency appeal there, for sure. At least one can understand. There may be an angle here where I want to do the bridge troll up, actually. That's not clear to me. Maybe should have been procession. This is an unfortunately useful cartographer for this particular shuffle trigger. I'm a bit bummed out about that. But it was always going to happen. The village stuff is really a problem here. Unless you get lucky, then it's not a problem at all. Then it's super easy. Probably run trolls and pawns. Maybe processions, trolls, and maybe processions and pawns first instead. Possible as well. Probably some world where marquees run. Nah, probably not actually. Well, this is sad unless there's a walled village on top. I definitely got a little better luck on the procession or on the village smithy situation. Unless something's happened that I'm confused about. Because I assume one's coming down now. Cartographer again. Never mind. Oh, I don't really like the war chest all that much there. Yeah, that looks about right. This sucks horribly. I wonder if you just sheep something and by procession. That's sort of the only card that matters. That's not really true, but I don't like the war chest very much at this stage. Oh. If it works out, it's fine. Well, we had okay outs, but we didn't draw it. This is unfortunately quite a good turn. I wonder if this shuffles. I guess it can be made safe in any case. I think I have a walled village bottom deck too. They're just gonna buy the processions. Just gonna buy everything. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. I think you have to compare this with just like playing another British roll here, or the odds of, you know, finding whatever kicking off. Obviously the war chest on play is doing some things. You just get as many processions as you can here. I probably still should have named procession, but they're gonna be able to like buy 2 of them and gain, well, not another one, but buy 2 of them anyway. So didn't feel super significant. There's maybe some 3 pile threat. They can have to be, what did I reveal as my sheep? The bridge troll. Yeah. There is some pile lowering considerations if you go hog wild on the processions. Because the pawns could go pretty easily. I'm just gonna have to play and move and go for, I'm gonna have to risk pile outs and just hope that I have a good turn and they have a, don't get a chance to have a good turn later, basically. This is going to be a long match. Not in speedy mode. So they did lower. I probably don't have like true threat, so it's probably safe, but there's like, if I have precision marquee in hand, you know, something like that, I think it is technically like a little scary. This will be an easy pile out. Yeah, I guess you could cheap it. Already at the point of having this enough to empty piles on a tie. Tie is already, well, basically in hand. I have to draw the other bridge trolls, but that's super easy with marquee. But this piles out even if I don't lower the procession, so that's just, it's just what I have to do. And hope I get this turn or something close to it. It's a little harder for me to draw it, but so I don't have the other marquees, but, or the second marquee rather. But you can obviously, I don't need to sit through this. Let's see how big they build. Let's see, this is an evaluation of Yurikamome's etiquette. Because you already have win in hand. If you play the war chest, you're a bad person. For sure. Okay. They didn't play the war chest. Yeah, that was rough. It is unfortunately a game that really lives and dies by what is fated? Really lives and dies by the village smithy, just draw. This kingdom is weird. This kingdom is quite strange. Because scoring is really hard. Or, I mean, it's just a single gain board, so you just do like sacrifice page and build to a deck that probably greens pretty consistently and then doesn't have much else to do. You can obviously make Fairgrounds worth a lot, but it takes a long time, and it's not going to be like more than Province. That takes ages and ages and ages. You just sacrifice page, you probably get a second sacrifice. Maybe not that. Militia is honestly probably not that good. It's probably okay. The thing is that just buying page is fine on a lot of turns, because most of the line is pretty playable here. But like, as long as you have time to play your sacrifice on your 3 estates before the end, then again the point thing won't be a big split. Unless, again, it's if shuffles run really weird, it can happen for sure, but Mountain Village is pretty okay just to play give you a shot at playing something sooner. Potentially. I went with the second sacrifice, but I do think that a Mountain Village is totally okay. And can probably make a lot of sense. Do you think you want the silver? This is the thing where I don't know which sacrifice it was, right? But if this had been the, let's say hypothetically this was the Mountain Village, then we get the warrior right now. It's a throne room. There's also some warrior hits are real possible here. I swear if they thrown warrior and it is revealing 4 cards, I'm gonna lose my mind if it hits anything. There's a throne room. It's unfortunately a pretty stupid board. It's not even super clear that the warrior hit. It would be annoying, but if it's like game winning or anything. I can see a throne room being pretty good. So do I throne the warrior or do I just pick the treasure hunter up and run it that way? Throne warrior probably isn't that good. I guess I'm gonna trigger shuffle anyway, aren't I? Yeah. I did hit a warrior. So when I said it wasn't that good, I maybe was absolutely full of it. They already go into debt this time for the blacksmith. Interesting. I could see it. I mean, if you need one, certainly. Whether you need it today is less clear. We want one. It's really not that good of an angle here to do this. I mean, there are some situations where it's good. Maybe we just do one. Okay. Like, it's fine. This was obviously a terrible draw from the, well, not terrible. Saying it was a terrible draw is not really accurate. So it's got to be better to cycle. There could be there could have been a traveler up there. Obviously we could have trashed you, but also they don't have the thing yet, so we can still, until champion's up, the warrior attack is like pretty impactful. I have some stuff. Well, I just have heroes, so that's safe. Hero, and I don't know if there's any other. Maybe another sacrifice. We could lose one, would be okay. We are gonna hit. It'll be interesting. I'm a little. I assume the angle before was throne room blacksmith and Pigget, or vice versa. You'd probably almost always want to do it the first way, but you're not going for that. Because then you could top deck a couple thrones and do throne warrior or something. Maybe they already have it. Okay. Kind of a weird. Maybe kind of weird. I'm pretty interested in doing the warrior throne here to try and smash some things. We don't have that many stop cards in this reshuffle. You can protect your thrones, I guess. That's nice. By top decking them. Depending on how many cards you're drawing and how many thrones you top deck, of course. It's gonna be stupid if we get to a point where, like, this is my bottom. Okay. Well, we can trigger through all this. We want to. Probably be good to get a gold. But we could not do that. Depending a little bit on what we want to do here. We get another trash. I still have 5 coppers. That's not a very good trashing split, if that's where the copper situation is. Guess it's 3 to 4. It's not terrible. I was second player. This turn I don't necessarily need the money from, like, hero. Though hero is better than warrior in terms of being invulnerable to my opponent's warrior, which may be played quite a few times here. Obviously, it's worse for drawing through deck some. And also golds are pretty good. I guess we just put all of these up here. I hit another warrior last turn. Oh, they didn't even have a warrior, so I didn't have to play around that. Oh, I've trashed 2 more estates. I see. Well... Okay, so I probably should have kept both warriors in hindsight. I'm gonna say, but... I could just... Or actually... I can still hit... No. Yeah. I also don't know how good the put a million whatevers on top was. Put all the throne runes on top as an angle. Well, I didn't really want to do it that way. So I have a mountain village now, which is not useful. But is not evil necessarily. If we could get to some of the sacrifices or even one of the sacrifices and trash one of these coppers before we do the blacksmith, that would rule. Actually, we can just play the blacksmith first and then pick it up with Mountain Village. Yeah, that makes way more sense. What is the fairgrounds situation? I mean, nobody has that many. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a few. I mean, it's 10, but... Okay. Well, I was gonna try and throne this thing, but... it's alright. So we have... what's the situation here? Five coppers out. They still have an estate, I guess. Gold still seem pretty good to me. Just, say don't. This is lucky. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So fairgrounds would be 12 for me. Could get potion pretty easily. Also, but if I don't miss province, then I'm I just win. If I draw blacksmith at the top of this massive deck every turn, that's pretty good. You try and find a mountain village. It's like throne room sacrifice down in here. So I could sack a throne. Well, that doesn't even really net draw. You don't need the actions. They're angling for fairgrounds, but they only have one. It's not like there'd be a score boost. And this cannot miss, so. Watch this. This is cute. How'd I do that? Had a lot of golds. They were really pretty good. Okay, what do we have now? Is Lurker like is hunting grounds on the kingdom? No. Okay. Sculptor, fountains, colonies. That's cute. Display city. Rope's good. You might look out rope. You could get a you can get a lurker at some point, but (5-2) Sculptor mitigates this a lot. I was gonna say 5-2 maybe a little worse, but Sculptor does help mitigate that as far as getting the wishes going. You gotta play the witches' huts for draw until the cities are activated. There's some real. You draw your lookout rope on turn 3. If you draw them real late, wah. But there's some nice first shuffles that could be pretty impactful. The villagers aren't super important. I mean, they can be nice. Certainly can give you some peace of mind with your witches' huts if you can sculptor for a rope a time or two. In a way that where you have actions. I think Lurker's main thing may just be that would allow you to empty a pile during your turn. And also you could pick one up and then maybe toss it to Witch's Hut sometimes if you don't have a super nice play for it. This place is obviously the best like colony fuel engine where you're doing platinum colony, because it looks just like the gold one, only it's, you know, adding platinum to the deck, which boosts the econ a lot more as well. And plat can go 2 directions as far as VP if you need to maneuver around that for some reason. And province can go into the plat, so you can do the cycle on province as well if that matters for some reason. Sway the monkey also, which means that if you just have a spare 2, then the lurker still might not be too harmful and gives you some threat of. Okay, we did find the lookout, which is nice. I mean, we get to play the rope. This has got to be an easy sculptor, I would assume. I'm gonna take the cave here. They didn't find the rope right off, or the sculptor right off, but this is probably Witch's Hut. I mean, this has got to be easily Witch's Hut, to be honest, because it gives you. Witch's Hut is really nice for lamp activation, and you, because of the sculptor into it, this is extremely good. Because you'll have the villager. I think it's actually not close between any other buy you could make here, even though there are some other good cards. This is a bit of a bummer. Just not hitting 5 hurts a little bit. I guess I don't really have a good way to hit 5 anyway. I guess what hurts is not finding the other rope, which it wasn't that likely to happen. And the lamp misses, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like if you have the witch's hut here, okay, they don't have that at least. This you could go for a loot. It's not clear that the loots are like super good, but they're at least okay-ish. I could go for a loot. Could also just go for witch's hut. Puzzle box is nice here for a number of things. There's still, of course, a good argument for sculptor. I'm a little thinner, but not a million times thinner. This lookout could be scary. It's a pretty easy shuffle trigger, though. I have a hard time imagining it not being rope, but this is interesting. It's definitely interesting. It may pan out. No, see, they didn't find the... And now they have this shuffle. That's quite sad. I may monkey the lookout because I'm a bit worried about the reveal. And if I have 5 anyway, then I don't have any estates, so it's just the 6 coppers, but I'm going to have like 3 of them here. Only 3 cards in this thing that I want to trash. And the lookout may be useful to have in the shuffle for both activation for uniques and activation for flipping stuff out to the lamp. But I think there's only going to be 3 coppers in there, which makes this a little... Now, otherwise, I mean, if you flip it and hit, it's really good. Or hit the copper, it's quite good, but I'm a little paranoid of it. And the 2 ropes is pretty nice. So what are we looking now? Maybe I'll try the witch's hut. If I hit wealthy village into it, that's huge. This should activate. The ropes are a problem, but we have 2 ropes. That's the nature of the problem. We can still pretty safely just trash the coppers without worrying about the uniques, I think, because if we don't get to enough other stuff, we probably should be fine to lose the coppers anyway, in which case we just weren't going to get there. At least one of them, depending on what the ropes see. I don't know if I'm going to need to get into this lurker situation or not. Once draw is good, they're very good. But right now they, they're stopping some draw. Okay, we have the hut, so we don't have to worry about anything. Everything in our life is perfect. We're gonna have 1, 2, 3 plus the shield. Is it a shield? A loot? Anyway, 1, 2, 3 loot, lamp, and a lookout. So we should. Well, we're gonna draw a copper too. So. I wonder why that's activating. Oh, it's puzzle box. Yeah, that's cool. We could trash. How many do you need? Or not trash. We could curse, but can't really curse. So we do this. Get thinner. And we can have more money. Okay, so we can puzzle box something. We're gonna have 5 here, 6 here. It's probably better to puzzle box the secret cave than anything. You can also turn the loots into platinum. That's kind of cute. Bell scroll is pretty good. We are gonna have to get get a lurker before. I guess if I had thought of this, this would have had to work a little differently. But we're gonna have to get a lurker before we play that guy, or when we play it, for instance. Good trashing advantage. And draw is fairly weak here, so. And I assume they're gonna get to the wishes this turn. They got the shield, okay. Okay, hammer. Hammer's nice. The dream is to... What is the dream? It would be kind of nice to have staff as well to play lurkers in that point in time, but... So he's a wealthy village. We're gonna need... Oh, city for sure. This is cute. I could do it again. Just don't know if that's correct or not. I'm kind of thinking about a sculptor here. Probably need to get loots and start the display stuff. We may be able to do... Yeah, I maybe needed to go for... But I can just lose the puzzle box. It's not a huge deal. Even though it's very good. I also don't have to lose it, I mean... I still have an estate and 4 coppers. No, I have 8 coppers, so 3 coppers. The other option is to just buy province or colony or platinum. That seems like the worst way to go about it, but... They still have all the wishes. We need to keep that in mind. Because they're going to have a turn coming up that's better than these have been. I don't know that I even want to trash the copper here. They didn't play the shield, so they have a decent chance of having shield. I can also just test it once, and that's not a big deal. We want the copper. I mean, we're going to be able to get... The loots are still quite good to be able to get wealthy villages and stuff. Or to get wealthy villages with loots. It's still pretty good. I do think I probably ought to score a little bit this turn. We could test this now. I did. Oh, react switch. Oh, I didn't even see it. You have to do it beforehand, don't you? Whoops. Not thinking. Whoa. Now I'm just causing all kinds of problems. When do I do the city to get the witch's head? We're a little over drawn, aren't we? We are a little overdrawn. We're okay. They're not ending the game. But I did underplay this if this is just used as a crappy little thing. I could get a silver. Would be pretty funny to do the loot to exile the loot with displace and then buy wealthy village and hit the same one like immediately. That would be pretty wild. I have 2 sculptors, 2 displaces. Should have the gains. I don't think this helps. Yurikamome. Now the secret caves are lower. I just have to empty the cities and then draw up, empty the lurkers, the ropes or something. And we do need to what do we have? We could get to 4 lurkers. And of course the spell scrolls could be used as lurkers with overdraw. And then it's just 4 ropes and a estate, or we could look at the estates as well if we have the buys. Interesting. We probably have the buys. Question of the money, maybe. The question is maybe more what order. You have overdraw you can just run the lurkers out with the spell scrolls. That's pretty easy. We can see if we're getting, okay, so that'll make it, this will make it a little simpler as well. If we're getting some trashing in, or not trash, if we're getting a couple curses in, then we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. We do have to figure out what order to do this all in. We're not quite... We can empty the cities right now and get a bunch of overdraw. Or some overdraw anyway. So I have the monkeys. I'm not 100% sure this works, just to be clear. I feel like I should clarify that. It would be good if we could get some plus buy. That would be okay. I may have botched this, to be honest. I didn't really count everything up. Well, they could also be kind of duddy, to be fair. We can get 2 more lurkers here pretty easily. And then it's just a question of what thing is the easiest to pile out, I guess. We could lower secret caves down to 3. That's just $9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I don't really have enough money there. Okay. We could lower the villages to... We need a... This work exact? 8 is... Because I didn't... get another curse, but this works. That was really way dicier than it probably needed to be. Suggests I probably just shouldn't have even gone for it. That I should have just scored a bunch of points and built up and been ready for the next turn. But I guess it was there. I don't know that I took also the most efficient route to it either. So I can believe that you can actually get out of there much more, how do you say it, much more cleanly than that. Just for a start, I could have given another curse maybe. I guess to be fair, I had a couple outs of drawing the curse that could be trashed with the goat or drawing the displace. And I maybe miscounted that there was a monkey finish as well that I just didn't account for correctly, but it's okay, we got there. This kingdom is... What is shopkeepers? So just when you play the importer, you get a coin, basically. That's how that works here. That's good. I don't have really the opening where you're super interested in that. This has got to be a Horn of Plenty kind of thing. But I don't know what to open to go for that. Rat catcher something. Could be storyteller. To be honest, Swamp Hag is not terrible here. That doesn't mean it's worth buying, but it's not terrible. You're probably looking at either a double importer or like rat catcher importer. There are a few things that are reasonable here. I'm gonna maybe try rat catcher patrol. Journeyman might be better. If we get the estates got trashed out, then there's a real consideration for the journeyman. Eventually the Swamp Hag attack doesn't matter so much because you're gaining stuff with Importer or Horn of Plenty or whatever. But there's definitely like a window where the attack is a little annoying, and it's always kind of good for storyteller stuff, for whatever that's worth. This may not be great. This is like a cycling into another $2 hand, basically. I didn't hit that. That was pretty good, actually. They do get flagship into importer, which is the point of their opening, which is cute. Well, they maybe didn't draw the importer yet. I'll take a flagship here. They may have drawn the importer and still are just sitting here thinking for some reason. It does keep the flagship. Well, the flagship's already stuck out until you play something, so. Maybe the importer missed. I'm not sure on that last one. If I had just scored, I still don't think they were in a really good spot to like lower the next turn and pile out. I don't think they had the gains. They had a lot of lurkers, but I just don't think the rest was probably all that was really there for it. We can trigger this shuffle. Don't know if that's good or not. May just go up to the end of it. We would get a chance to play. We would get like a very small chance to play the Ratcatcher, a very small chance to collide with the flagship, which would be bad. I think we'll do it this way. So we could just prepare. I'm not super interested in another importer if it feels a little early, even though it's totally reasonable. There's some bad draws with the flagship. Some good ones too. If we could hit like Storyteller's top decked into, you know, shop plays flagship, save for the next round, we have some horns. That would be cool. This is good too, though. Well, it's good if the Storyteller is not the very, very last card. Otherwise, it's slightly scary. What did I get? And I got Horn Storyteller that turn. Well, I play flagship. Okay, so we are for sure going to get to the Storyteller. We may get gain and play because we're going to have a lot of money, or we're going to have $2 off the shop when the Storyteller procs. Well, I guess we could choose that. We probably want that, which does mean we may have a little less chance of getting a village effect, but we don't need that anyway. So like even if Storyteller's top here, we won't play the shop on that. We'll wait. A lot of prepares, that's pretty good. Okay, so we've already done it the second time. All right. That's cool. This is also a lot of cards. I would love to have a second flagship to have that set up for every other turn if we could, but also wouldn't be bad to have like one of these other things with throne or something. None of that would be bad to have. Silver is also not terrible here. It's kind of silver versus shop to some degree. This is a bad times here today. Probably get a flagship. I don't know. I mean, just even one shop in hand here changes this up immensely. But this is awful. I could have thought about getting... I wouldn't have had the actions for it because the shop didn't proc twice on act plus action, but Could have thought about the swamp hag there to help the storytellers out, but that would have meant just swamp hag instead of horn and storyteller. Unfortunately, the prepare here is pretty huge with the 2 flagships. That situation is quite nice. And I didn't really have a way to set it up. Well, I guess that's not true. I could have also tried, so that's another option. I could have, instead of horn and storyteller, I could have just got flagship, played around, got the importer, had $3 and done prepare, which would have done a flagship. That might have been good. This is really nice. I like how Yurikamome is playing this. Obviously, I took a rat catcher because I had the 5-2, and I do like rat catcher here, but it's not hugely impactful compared to getting some of this other stuff set up. The hand is just unworkably bad, unfortunately. The 2 hops hurt so much. Even just a single copper for the future, like I'm really likely to die here in a way that is just depressing as all get out, because the shops are going to be awful. That's a case where the silver is a little more robust. Like if I play the storyteller and there's a silver on top, then it's a bit of a rescue. Not really, but slightly less awful. Whereas like shop on top just means it's even worse. I think that's a Dr. Seuss book, and it will just make this even worse. So we're pretty well hosed, because I think Yurikamome is going to be able to do the prepare stuff pretty safely, and I could still have a semi-dud. That's still totally in the cards. They don't have a million storytellers, but depending on exactly what the prepare is. But it looks rough, but also very, very nicely piloted, so you can't be too mad about losing to that. And I guess for as far as openings, could have done shop importer, but they're not. It's probably a little better than what I did. I got decent cycling though, so it was fine. There's also I'm the half turn behind. It's more than a half turn now, but or will be after I dud here. If I have like a decent turn here, it's not. If I would have had, I'm not going to. If I would have had a decent turn here, it would be closer to the half turn than anything. But this is fine. We got 3 at least. I don't remember. I remember losing the deliver one. I don't remember the other game I lost. Oh, the procession one. Yeah, that was rough too. I mean, that was rough on the back of, like, I guess I just grabbed the hop because why not, but this is so bad. I probably technically shouldn't play the horns at all, right? There's no advantage. There's absolutely zero upside to playing the horns at that point, because it's not like I was getting around to gain and play. But I already clicked it, so it's too late. It was just strictly bad play. We do have enough horns to do a 5 province turn if we ever had the money and all that to do that, which is something. but I think it'll be far too late. It's not like the game is ending right away, but yurikamome is going to build up to the 8 uniques and then enough to buy province or whatever and be able to do 7. It doesn't really need a... The unfortunate part here is that you can build without putting any pile pressure down because there's so much draw, or there's so many draw piles. So you can just gain thrones in the smithies and be probably fairly safe. I mean, you'll want some more storytellers, but it's not really much of a risk on a 3 pile. And you could even think about a swamp hag now, or you could just keep doing the prepares. As far as, or both rather, I mean, to do some consistency. But the thrones aren't super exciting except with the smithies, but once those are in there, the thrones are really nice. And the smithies are really nice with prepare as well, so. I guess I call rat catcher. Coppers are still pretty awful. Does draw a little bit less here, I guess. Okay, so I need a gold. And I suppose I could have prepared the coppers. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love 8. I can shoot for the 5 province turn, I guess. I'm not totally sure I'll actually have $8 if I draw through. But also I think yurikamome can probably do the 5 province turn here. The only other thing that would be nice would have been to play an importer last turn and have like a duchy gain. I don't know, they're probably just doing 7 provinces here. Well, the money's not that good. I don't have a gold yet, so I take it back. That actually seems quite unlikely. But they'll have a nice prepare ready. I'm not 100% I have 4 horns, to be honest. I think so, though, because I think I did 3 and then gain another one on an importer. That gain and play turn, I think I had 3 at the end of it. I don't know why these are all being... Oh, they are drawing cards. At first I thought that they were being played with an empty deck, but that's not the case. Play the flagship twice. Maybe an importer twice. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so they don't have, I mean, they are blowing up for 6 provinces, I guess, probably. I think they have 7. Oh, they had 7 horns of plenty. I do only have 3? That's crazy. I thought I had 4. What's wrong with this world? Watch this. Boom. Boom. Okay. Let's just do a rat catcher twice because it's fun. Boom. Play an importer twice because it's fun. Can always shop for rat catchers. That's cute. I only had 3 horns. What a load of malarkey. What kind of messed up world are we living in? Well, I better just suicide. Well, that was interesting games. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. It was okay. The outcome, I can live with it. Would have liked more, of course, but anyway, take care.